All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. I got another topic for y'all, and the topic of today is going to be who the Father and the Son really are, because there's a lot of questions and misconceptions on who the Most High and the Son really are. Traits about them, Slakia, traits that they have, basically like you would say, their personality, or like I said earlier, traits that they have, right? And the way that they look in appearance, right? So first, I'm going to read Revelations 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Right? So I'm going to pull up an image real quick, because this is what so-called Jesus looks like, right? His real name is Yahweh Shai, but y'all call him Jesus. And brothers that's coming into the truth is going to learn that his name is really Yahweh Shai, and y'all going to start calling him Yahweh Shai instead of Jesus. But this is the on y'all left side, this is the picture of Jesus that it's supposed to be Jesus. Slakia, that's what I meant to say. This is supposed to be Jesus, and this is actually a man that actually was walking around slaying people, killing people, raping people, and his name is Caesar Borgia, right? And you notice they got the picture on the right side of who that man really is, right? They took that man's image and used him as the image of the heavenly Son and the Most High's only begotten Son. And they use that picture and they associate that picture of so-called Jesus with the King James Version Bible, right? But yet, when you go and read the King James Version, it says otherwise. It says he looks a totally different way than Caesar Borgia, right? Y'all got to get this man out of your head, because this is not the real so-called Jesus or Yahweh Shai, right? And really, it's the Edomites, which is the so-called white man, undermining the minds of the Israelites, right? Because they say, for example, if you want to hide something from a so-called black man, Hispanic man, or etc., put it in a book, put it in words, because especially in this generation, we don't like to read, right? We got not an essay. We get tests in school and be like, dang, I'm not even trying to read that. It be to the point where people skip over the passages and try to sum it up with a few words and try to answer the questions, right? That's how much we don't want to read. So they literally changed the image of Yahweh Shai into a so-called white man. But yet, when you go and read, like I said earlier, it shows that he looks a different way. And they did that, and they didn't really put too much effort into it, because it's like they show you this image, but when you read the book, when you actually take the time and just read for yourself, right? And just look, or if you don't got a Bible, you look on your smartphone, your iPhone, your Galaxy, whatever, and read, you'll see that the image of so-called Jesus, Yahweh Shai, is a false image, right? So I'm gonna show y'all one more time what they portray him to look like. This is what he's supposed to look like. And the man on the left side the man on the right side is who that image is really based on. And it's a man named Caesar Borgia, or Borgia, right? So now I'm going to read Revelations 1 and 14. And I'm going to keep this here while I read that, so you can look, and then while I'm reading, you'll just hear, Slakia, you'll just hear that it's just not the same person. Right? Revelations 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool. Slakia, I'm going to read that again. Revelations 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Right? So, Slakia, you just look at this image, and when you go back and read, it's not the same person. This is a whitewashed Yahweh Shai, and the real Yahweh Shai is found in the scriptures, right? And when you watch movies about Yahweh Shai, so-called Jesus, right? They have him sounding like, "Come, brother, follow me, brother," talking all soft, like a female, right? He getting all up in Paul's face, like he about to kiss Paul, right? And when you go to the scriptures, it says, "And his voice as the sound of many waters." So that means he had a firm voice. His voice was very firm or loud, or just, it was a strong voice, right? But yet in the movies, they portray, Slakia, they have him with a soft, "Come, brother," voice, right? When the scriptures say he don't really sound like that, right? And if you notice, they always have him with blue eyes, right? Because blue eyes and a soft voice, it's like they're portraying a peaceful person, a all-loving person, right? He's all about peace. He's so kind. He's always kind, like kind to the point where you can take advantage of him, right? Because a kind person, the way they try to make him seem like how kind and soft-spoken he is, a person that, if you meet a person like that on earth or in your everyday life, most people 9 times out of 10 try to use that person or play that person out because of how kind he is. But the Most High, you can't play him out, right? Because as soon as he gets not even get a whiff, because he knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. As soon as you even thinking about it, he knows you're about to do it. He got something else coming for you, right? Because you can't outsmart or outplay the Most High, right? You can't play chess with the Most High and expect to get a move over him or be like, "Checkmate, I got you," right? You're not going to be able to do that. But like I said, that is not the image. This man, Caesar Borgia, is not what the Most High looks like. And I just read that, right? Mommy. And now to get to what Yahweh looks like. And Yahweh is the Father. Yahweh Shai is the Son, and Yahweh is the Father, right? So you read John 14:9. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking, so-called Jesus. "He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father?" Right? So he said, if you seen me, you seen the Father. So obviously the Father looks like or has a resemblance, or Slakia, or Yahweh Shai has a resemblance to his Father. He looks like his Father. Because he says, "He that hath seen me hath seen the Father." So they look alike, right? And now I'm going to read Slakia. So now that I got what they look like out of the way, right? I'm going to go to certain traits that they have, right? Because a lot of people be like, well, oh, he's only loving. He just loves, and he just loves, right? Everyone at church, you go to church, the pastors teach you, well, he's a loving, he'll forgive anything, which is true. He will, but there's also scriptures where he says if you sin against the Father, there's no coming back. But they don't teach you that, right? They teach you could just sin. So basically that means, Slakia, if you be like, F Yahweh, right? There's no coming back from that. It's no coming back because you sinned against the Father, right? The Father's the creator, right? You could play around with the Son like that and be like, F him, and then you get repentance for it. But you can't say F the Father and be like, well, please forgive me. Like, you can't. You disrespected the Father and you disrespected the creator, the high, Slakia. You disrespected your higher authority, right? So now I'm going to read Corinthians 10:22. "Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy?" Right? In church, they don't teach you that he's jealous. They don't say, oh, he's a jealous God, or etc., etc. Well, when you don't follow his laws, statutes, and his commandments, and you go out there and smoke, you go out there and fornicate, you go out there and have sex with many women, you go out there and prostitute yourself, you go out there and twerk on the media, right? You sinning against the Most High and you provoking him to jealousy because you're serving other gods. Because the Most High don't want you doing any of those things. Those are all sin, right? So you got to restrain from those things. And you continuing to do them, right? You provoking him to jealousy, right? And his wrath is going to kindle against you when you provoke him to jealousy. Because if you out there serving other gods, he's going to destroy you. You're going to be destroyed in these last days. Right? And another trait that he has, Ecclesiastes 27 and 24. I have hated many things, right? And the precept that I just read, it has more to it, but I'm reading the parts that are just getting to the point that I'm trying to get across. Right? So Ecclesiastes 27 and 24. I have hated many things, right? So the Most High also hates. Like I said earlier, they teach you that he loves, but he doesn't hate. He's not jealous, and etc. Right? But he says, I have hated many things. So there's a lot of things he hated, right? And I'm going to tell you one thing he hates. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And Esau and Jacob are two nations of people, right? Jacob is Israel, and Esau is the Edomites, the other child that was born from Rebekah and Isaac, right? So he said he loves Jacob, which is Israel, but Esau have I hated. So he hates a nation of people also. He don't just love everybody. There's a nation that he hates, right? And there's a nation that he loves, right? So now I'm going to go to another precept. Exodus 15 and 3. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name, right? So the Most High is not just this peaceful God. This, I'm going to come and hug you and give you gifts. Here, take a present. Like, that's not who he is. He's a man of war. And if you go back into the Old Testament, he sends Moses out to war with Israelites. Well, he commands Moses to send Israelite men out to war to conquer other nations. He's a man of war. He deals with war, right? So, now I'm going to read Romans 12 and 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Right? So, if the Most High loves everybody, right? Why is he saying he's coming with vengeance? Right? Why is he saying vengeance is mine? And why is he saying I will repay? Who is he repaying? If he loves everybody, right? If everyone is loved, who is he gonna have this vengeance kindled against? A plant? A flower? A duck? A rabbit? A dog? Like, he don't love everybody. Y'all got to deal with that, right? And he's talking to Israel. This is Slakia. Give me a moment. Right? This is Slakia. This is Paul speaking to the Israelites, and he's saying, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And this is the Lord saying this. So Slakia. So he's coming to repay something to a certain people that deserve this payback and his vengeance, right? So he don't just love everybody, right? And I'm gonna break down the first part of the precept. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. And we know wrath is hate. And a lot of y'all be like, well, that's confusing, Slakia. He says not to hate, but now he's saying not to be avengeful, but rather give place to wrath, right? So there's a precept where he's like, I'll get it out for you. I'll bring it out for you. But he's saying, love thy brethren and hate thine enemies, right? I'm going to just get the precept for y'all. Because for some people, it's seeing is believing, right? Give me a moment. Slakia. And Slakia means forgive me, because I'm going to the precept. right? So it says, Slakia. All right, so it's Matthew 5:43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. And your neighbor is fellow Israelites. Whoever is an Israelite, just like you are an Israelite, right? Those are your neighbors. And hate thine enemy, which is the Edomites. Your neighbor, your enemies are the Edomites, the Moabites, which are Chinese men, and etc. Right? All these other nations. If you're not an Israelite, right? And I explain who an Israelite is. I'm not going to get into that right now. But if you're not an Israelite, then you're an enemy of the Israelites. And he says, love thy brethren and hate thine enemy. Right? So now to go back to Romans 12:19, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. And Paul's saying that to them because this Romans is speaking to the Israelites that's in Rome, and they're being oppressed by the Romans, right? So he's saying not to go out there and avenge yourselves. Don't try to go and kill the Romans and get freedom back. Just, he says, instead of going to get vengeance, give place to wrath. So hate them instead. In your heart, know that you hate them. When you see them, you know that you hate them, right? But not to give vengeance, not to go and try to avenge yourself, right? Because it says, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So everything that these Edomites and all these other wicked nations have done to us, the Most High is going to repay them, and payback is he's going to slack you. Everything that these wicked nations have done to us, their reward is coming soon. So Israel, you don't got to go out there and try to shoot a cop. Oh, I'm in the truth. I hate you, Edomite. Bow. Like, you don't shoot him. You don't got to avenge yourself. The Most High is going to avenge for you, right? He's going to repay, saith the Lord, right? And now I'm going to go to Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword, right? So he's not coming to send peace. He's not coming down here. Here's a teddy bear. Here's a Build-A-Bear workshop bear, right? That's not what he's doing. So y'all got to deal with that. And when you read these scriptures, you will realize quickly that the Most High is dealing with vengeance. He's peaceful when it's time to be peaceful. And when it's time to give vengeance, and when it's time to have wrath towards somebody, that's what he does, right? There's a time and a place for everything, right? And I'm going to read that again. Matthew 10:34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So when he comes down here, there's going to be separation, and he's going to be killing people, right? So whoever is not an Israelite, you're going to be destroyed. And the Israelites that don't follow the law, statutes, and the commandments, which are the 2/3 of Israel that got to go, you're going to also be wiped out with that sword, right? So he's not coming for peace and hugs and teddy bears and hugs and whatever, right? And this is my last precept, Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not, right? So when he says all this, don't think, oh, he might come and save everybody. He might change his mind. He might not destroy the Edomites. He might save all the Israelites and not get rid of the 2/3, right? That's not what's happening. What he says is what he's going to do, right? So I'm going to read Malachi 3:6 one more time. For I am the Lord, I change not. So all these things that it said, he's not going to ever change. This is what he means, and this is what he's saying, and this is what he means. And when it's time, he's going to execute all these things. His vengeance is going to be executed on this earth, right? His sword is going to be sent down on this earth, right? Set down on this earth, Slakia, right? He's going to set his sword on whoever he wants to set his sword on. So don't think that he's coming for loves and kisses. Stop thinking that. And get Caesar Borgia out of your head, because that's not who the Father and the Son is. Well, Slakia, that's not who the Son is. That is not the lamb that was sacrificed. He was not an Edomite. The Most High, he hates the Edomites, right? He says, let me go back to that. Romans 9 and 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Right? And Esau is Edom. Right? So, and Esau and Edom are the so-called white people. Right? And the Most High don't like them. He hates them. And Jacob is the Israelites. And he says, I have loved the Israelites. So, that being said, Shalom. Shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Peace.